today with another video. I have baby Shaya with me. Today I wanted to share my 2017 goals and kind of reflect on what I was able to accomplish this year. So I wanted to do something a little bit different and kind of do a reaction video. So I'm going to watch my old video of my goals and then kind of react to what I was able to accomplish, and then at the end of the video I'll discuss my stats for 2017. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to watch my goals from 2016. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. I'm not really sure where yet, but yeah. I'm kind of nervous because I didn't really think about my goals much while I was reading this year, so I feel like I'm not gonna have a lot of them accomplished, but we will see. So let's do this. Hey guys! So today I am here to kind of talk to you about my reading, YouTube, and writing goals for 2017. And I'm here with my dog Chevy, so if you hear strange noises, that's probably him. But yeah, so I also have Chevy in that video, which is kind of funny too, but I guess he's like in all my videos, but whatever. This year, I don't think I actually made any goals last year for my booktube channel. I typically don't really make New Year's resolutions. I kind of usually have like a negative take on them. I feel like you make them and then never reach them or just give up on them like in the beginning of January. But alright, let's get to the goals. So first, let's do my reading goals of 2017. So the first goal that I want to do is to set my Goodreads challenge. This 2016 was actually like kind of the first full year that I did a Goodreads challenge, and I set it to 50, and I ended up reading about 44 books. So I did set my challenge for 50 books. I will talk about how many books I ended up reading, but I didn't actually complete this challenge, but I did do better this year than I did last year, so I'm gonna count this as like a win, but also a fail because I did read more, but I did not meet my 50 Goodreads goal this year. We'll see. My second goal is that I really want to read more nonfiction. So I decided I want to read 12 nonfiction books this year. So I did read 12 nonfiction books. So yay, I did complete this challenge. The goal was to kind of read a nonfiction book every month, and I did end up reading 12, but I don't think it was like every month. But I'm super excited that I did get to complete this challenge, and it will be back again in 2018. So yeah, I'm excited. I have 17 books in 2007 that I would really like to read this year. So I did not read all 17. I think I got through 7 maybe? I don't remember, but there was definitely like a good over half of them I did not get to. So yeah, I kind of failed on this challenge, but I wasn't really thinking about it when I was reading, and I don't know, there were books I really wanted to read, but then other books came out and I just was like more passionate about those. So this was kind of a fail for this year, but I'm going to try to do it again in 2018, so hopefully I have better luck. And the last reading goal that I have is that I'm going to try, hopefully complete the Read Harder challenge. Oh girl, I did not even like attempt to complete this challenge. I think I completed like 3 of these challenges. They were like really hard to complete, and a lot of the challenges I didn't have books on my TBR that fit them, so I would have had to go out and buy them or like go to the library and read them. So I just really failed on this one. Like, I did not even try. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing the Read Harder challenge next year. I don't know. It's interesting and I enjoy it, but I don't have enough books in my collection that would really fit them, and I don't really want to go and buy a book that fits it just for the challenge. So yeah, not gonna do this one again. So let's do the channel goals that I had. Next kind of set of goals I want to talk about is the goals for my booktube channel. And there's not really too many goals I really want to achieve. There's about 2 main ones, and it kind of goes back to why I started the channel. The first goal is that I really want to keep up a consistent schedule. So my goal last year was to post once a week, and I think I maintained that pretty successfully. Obviously I didn't do it every week, but as far as the amount of videos that I posted this year compared to 2016, I think I did a lot more. Though the issue was, I think this year my videos kind of went down in quality compared to 2016, which is kind of upsetting because I mean, they weren't that great to begin with, so how low can you go? But like, I really want to attempt to do good quality videos this year and try to consistently publish. So yeah, I will probably consider this to be a fail just because I did not post every week. And my next goal is kind of more about why I started this YouTube channel. I'm a pretty shy and socially anxious person, and that's what I really wanted to make this channel, was to put myself out there and meet other people that are interested in books. So I really want to be more proactive about being an engaging member of the booktube community. So my other YouTube goal was to be more engaging in the community, and I think I started off really strong at the beginning of the year. I did participate in a few book readathons, and I did do like a buddy read kind of in the beginning of the year, but we were trying to read War and Peace, and that just did not turn out very well. We did not finish it. This year I want to take that another step forward and kind of have a more measurable goal, because last year I just said I wanted to be more involved, but there's no way to really determine if that was a success. So I will say that I was more involved, but I think I could have done a lot better. So this year we're gonna up the game. So that's kind of like the reaction. I completed less than half of my goals, I would say, and need to step up the game for next year. So we will see. Okay, so now let's get into the reading stats. So the first one is my Goodreads reading challenge. I talked a little about this in the reaction portion, but my goal was to read 50 books this year, and I got to 46, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's 3 more books than I read last year, so I'm moving up, and hopefully this year I'll be progressing a little more as well. So the next stat is total number of pages that I read, and I read a total of 13,532 pages. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't really know what I read last year, so I can't really compare, but that seems like a lot. To break it down, the shortest book that I read was 80 pages, and that was Let Them Eat Chaos by Kate Tempest, and it's a poetry collection, so of course it's going to be on the shorter side. And my longest book that I read this year was 526 pages. That was The Tiger's Daughter by Kate Arsenal Rivera, and I'm kind of surprised that's the largest book I read. I thought I read a little bigger books than that, so I'm kind of upset that I didn't read anything larger than like 500 pages. So we're gonna have to change that next year. So the next stat is the types of books that I read, and I will put a little diagram somewhere on the screen so you can see. But to get an idea, sorry, I'm looking at my computer. I read 14 fantasy books, 12 nonfiction books, which was my goal, so I'm happy about that, 6 literary fiction books, 4 science fiction books, 3 contemporaries, 2 dystopians, 2 poetry collections, and 1 fiction novel. You're blocking the entire screen. So I'm kind of surprised that fantasy is the largest category that I read, because it doesn't feel like I read any fantasy this year. So that's pretty interesting. I'm also surprised that the literary fiction category is small as it is, because I thought I read a lot of literary fiction, so that's interesting. And I'm also shocked that there are no classics on this list. I did not read any classics this year, and that's kind of disappointing. And it's also a little disappointing that I only read 2 poetry collections, so those are things that I'm definitely going to have to change in 2018. So the next stat is book publication year, and here is the breakdown. So I read a total of 27 books published between 2010 and 2016. So yeah, it was That's like the largest category, and those are pretty recent books. The next category was 15 books in 2017, which is a lot. I read 1 book in 2018 and no books in the 2000s, which is interesting, I guess. And then I read a total of 3 books between the 90s and the 80s, so we've got to change that. I definitely want to read older books and focus on books that have been published a little bit later. I know this year I did tend to focus on the new releases because I wanted to see like if that would get my videos more views, but honestly I'd rather have a more diverse reading than just focusing on the new releases. So yeah. The next one is the male to female author ratio. So I ended up reading 31 books by female authors, 15 books by male authors. So I would prefer it to be a little more like half and half, but I'm actually pretty happy that I did read more female authors this year because I tend to read more male authors, so I'm pretty excited about that. So now the diversity breakdown. I read a total of 8 own voices books, which means that the author is writing about marginalized groups that they are also a part of. I also read 3 books about race and 3 books with diverse authors, but the content necessarily wasn't diverse. I also read 2 LGBTQIA books, but the majority, over 50% of my books did not have any diversity in it, and that's kind of disappointing. I think that has to do with 2 reasons, because for one, I don't know if I really categorize every book in the best way possible. That's something I'm definitely going to change in 2018, is try to categorize my diversity a little bit better and figure out a system so that I can accurately track what diverse books I'm reading. And it's also because I just wasn't really paying attention to it this year, so next year I definitely want to have that to be more evenly split so that I'm reading more diverse books than non-diverse books. And let's go down to my star rating breakdown. So my average rating this year was 3.4 stars, and so the biggest chunk of books that I read this year were 3 stars, and I think that's to be expected. These books are like your average. They're not great, they're not that bad, but yeah, that's just the majority. I think I did have a really good reading year because I did end up reading 15 books that I gave 5 or 4 stars to, and there were only 4 books that I gave 2 stars to and 0 books that I gave 1 star to. I rarely ever give a book 1 star because I don't know. I think that's pretty harsh. And my 2 stars I have pretty strong feelings about. And those books I will be talking about soon in like my least favorite books of 2017 video. So if you're interested in what I did not like reading this year, keep an eye out for that video. And the last metric I want to talk about is acquisitions. While I did a horrible job about tracking what books I acquired this year, I kind of started out strong tracking all my books, and then slowly that died down as the year progressed. And this is something I really strongly want to track next year. So the data that I have this year isn't very accurate, so I'm not going to really say what my acquisitions are, but I'm thinking about doing like a quarterly series where I track what books I acquired, how much they cost, and kind of see, because I really am interested to see how many books I buy in a year and how much money I'm spending on books. If you're interested in seeing a breakdown of the books, all the books that I buy for the quarter and how much they cost, like this video and I will do a series about that, because I'm not going to be doing book hauls next year, so that'll kind of be like my book haul. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had fun filming it, and I'd love to know how many books you were able to read this year and what are your goals for next year? So leave your answers in the comments below, and if you want to see more bookish content from me, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys with a video very soon. I will be having my 2008 goals up very soon, so check that out. Alright, bye!